Here we go. Looking at number 1 here, we're putting this equation in standard form. As you look at number 1 here, what tells you that this is going to be a parabola? X is being squared. Okay, that's what we talked about yesterday. If one thing is squared, that makes it a parabola, and that's going to be important. We're going to have to make a decision as to what shape it's going to be later on. But right now, that's a parabola. We're following our 3 steps, just like we did yesterday. Okay, step 1 here is we need to organize this thing. So remember what organization looks like. We're putting whatever's squared, okay, with whatever else has an x in it together. Is there anything else being squared in this problem? No. Anything else with an x in it? Nope, that's it. So, quit talking, please. X squared and an x. Okay, we're going to make a trinomial, so that means 3 parts. So we've got this part, there's the second part. The third part, we don't know what it is yet, so we're going to put plus blank. And everything else is going to go on the other side. So, Rashad, what's going to be on the other side of this equal sign? Yeah, let's put it in order. So what would you put first, do you think? 4y. Why is it going to be positive 4y and not negative? It's already over here, so we just write it down. 4y, and then what's going to come after 4y? Minus 8, because he's going to take this positive 8 and move it to the other side of the equal sign. So he's going to subtract it over. And what else do I need? Plus blank. To balance out this equation, I had a blank over there, so I need to add a blank on that side to balance it out. Good. That's step 1. It's organized. All the squared stuff together with a blank. Everything else goes the other side, and add a blank as well to the second side. Step 2 is we're going to fill in the blanks, and we fill in the blanks with half of b squared. Okay, so when I look at this problem right here, Lionel, what's my b value going to be for this problem? Remember, it's a trinomial, so this is like ax squared plus bx plus c. The 8, yep. This negative 8 right here is my b. So what we're going to do is take that, we're going to cut it in half, and then we're going to square it. Okay, so I take negative 8, I cut it in half, I get negative 4. What number is going to go in my blank here? 16. We're taking negative 4 and squaring it. We're getting 16 on both sides. That was step 2, filling in the blank with half of b squared. Step 3 is we want to get it into that graphable form. Okay, we want to put it in standard form. We're going to make it pretty. So again, remember what that looks like for us. With a parabola, this is the basic graph of a parabola. X something squared equals. On this side, we're going to have a y right there. And we're going to get this into that form. Okay, so remind yourself how we do that. We're going to here in a second. Yep. So on the left side here, Estrella, what's going to go in parentheses there with my x? Yep, where'd you get that negative 4 from? You're not squaring it this time. You're just cutting it in half. You were right. You just went too far. You just take that and you cut it in half. The first time we cut it in half and squared it. This time we're just cutting it in half. Technically it's factoring, but just write down half of this number. Good, that's negative 8. On this side, I always like to do kind of a middle step here, where I'm going to put this together and make it 4y plus 8. So we don't want anything with our y right here. We're going to take that 4, whatever's in front of my y, and move it out in front. So in this case, it's a 4. And then we're going to divide both things by 4. So Charles, what's going to go inside my parentheses there? 2. Yep. Positive or negative 2? Yep. Positive 8 divided by 4 gets you plus 2. Good. There's my equation right there. X minus 4 squared equals 4, y plus 2. Okay. Great. We did that yesterday. Let's go ahead and graph it. I know you don't have a graph on your paper, but let's remind ourselves how to graph real quick. So the first thing I always want to do is graph the vertex. Jasmine, what do you think my vertex is going to be here? Good. 4, negative 2 is going to be her vertex. Okay, she took her x value here and changed the sign. She took her y value there and changed the sign. So she would go to 4, negative 2. Once we've graphed our vertex, the next thing we're going to do is find our a value. Kristen, remind us, how do we find our a value here? That's going to tell us how much we move. Remember where that a value is located. In front of our parentheses, normally on the equation, it says 4a. So what do I need to do with whatever's in front of the parenthesis here? Just divide it. Yep, we're going to take whatever number's in front of the parentheses always and divide it by 4. And that will tell you your A value. And you said it's 1. Good. So A value is 1. Remember what that tells you. Okay? My A value is 1. That means from my vertex dot, I'm going to go up 1, and I'm going to go down 1. Naomi, which one of those two dots, the one that goes up 1 or the one that goes down 1, which one of those two dots is going to be my focus here? The top one. Why do you know that the top one is going to be your focus? Because the 4 is positive. Because that number in front of parentheses is positive, right here, this is positive, that tells us that we're going to open up. That makes this dot the focus, and it makes the other dot become my directrix. Remember, a directrix is a line. Good enough? From there, Justin, last thing I need to do is graph the width of this parabola. Okay, how wide is my parabola going to be altogether? 4. Good. He's looking at this number right here. Whatever's in front of parentheses will tell you how wide this parabola is. Okay, so because of that, that'll tell me the width of the parabola. So from his focus dot, how much are you going to go each way? 2. It's a total of 4 wide, so he's going to go 2 to the right and 2 to the left, and using those 2 dots, he's going to make his parabola. There we go. Questions with that? We're doing the exact same thing today. The only difference, instead of an x squared parabola, now it's going to be a y squared parabola.